I knew I'm going into a project that I know nothing about. I messed up a lot. I spent like 3 days hanging up wallpaper that then looked terrible just to rip it out again. It made me happy. It still does.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet Sara. Hi Sara.
Hi.
And Sara has built a beautiful Volkswagen van. I think you're going to be really impressed. So Sara, you're not actually a nomad.
No, I actually have never spent a day in the wilderness.
So
I've never even been camping as a child. I tend to be the boring one that stays at home, barely leaves the house. A real introvert. Like I don't, this isn't my thing, but building things is my thing. So before I used to remodel houses, then I had a car accident and I couldn't lift heavy stuff anymore. And I started just sitting in my bed and being depressed. So that really got to me. So one night I woke up, I'm like, I got to build something. If I can't build a house, I got to build something smaller. And I was always fascinated with the concept of tiny living in general. So I started watching your videos and got so fired up that within one day, I went, bought a van, woke up my 11-year-old son in the morning and said, guess what, we're going on an adventure, because it was during the beginning of summer break. And we flew to Phoenix, drove the van back to where we live in Las Vegas, with fingers crossed that he would make it, and took it from there, ripped everything out and started fresh. I have to have a project or I tend to be depressed. Like I need a reason to get up in the morning. And I've always been self-employed, so there's nobody, forcing me to get up in the morning. I'm not happy unless I'm being productive and I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Like I messed up a million times with this van. I had to do everything over and over again, but that still makes me happier, me being all by myself in my garage 14 hours a day, than not creating anything.
tell us a little bit about the van.
I think since I'm born and raised in Germany, I was a little bit biased. I didn't know anything about vans and cars, still don't. So when a Volkswagen came along, it just looked like home to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that these Volkswagen Eurovan are relatively rare. I had no idea. That was the van I saw. It was in a distance that I could handle. But driving back from Phoenix, my son and I stopped at a couple of gas stations, and every time somebody said, well, where did you find that van?
Yeah.
I was like, on Craigslist. So when I had ripped everything out, I even found some original purchase orders and notes that they did in the German factory when it was built.
Oh my.
So I kept those so that the next owner, just in case they are a VW fanatic, that they can have those. Yeah, so here is a little landing area. I don't know if that's a very German thing, but Germans like to have their area where when you get somewhere, you have stuff to put, right? So it might be your leash or whatever that goes here, and your keys. And then you can have something that you can put your shoes on, leave them on, take them off, whatever you like. But it stops the dirt from coming in. At least I hope it does. Then here is a countertop that I made myself. It's made out of epoxy. So when I used to build houses, I love to use epoxy. And I wanted something that is durable and has a little bit of a story to tell. So when you look inside the countertop, you can see that there are antique maps and driftwood infused into the epoxy countertop. So you can see it, but it's not like right in your face. And then here are the corresponding maps. So there were only 2 that I found of these antique maps. So the second one went down here to have a bit of a theme. Later, I added those pebbles.
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Because while I was watching your videos, you once mentioned that you barely ever park anywhere where your van or RV is completely level. And since this would be somebody's countertop, I thought it wouldn't hurt to have a couple of pebbles on the side so that nothing slips around. Right. This is a pretty deep bar sink. So it is deep enough that it's pretty good storage for the stuff that shouldn't be flying around. I put little pebbles in there. This I added as a last step because we had a lot of room because we have a thick insulation. So it's a little kitchen island, and these fit in here just right. This light can be on permanently or just with motion sensor. And then we have the water tank underneath. Then over here, I wanted I wanted to reclaim some of the space that I lost to that partition wall. I knew I needed the wall, but then I remembered you saying, you know, everything in here is luxury real estate. You got to think about every inch. So I carved a hole in it as good as I could.
Oh, wow.
And have this in here. I also tried to be on the very safe side with all of my electrical stuff. So you have a combination of things that are running by battery, like this. Then you have some that are just being charged, but they are there for a really long time. And then you have the main light, which goes all the way from down there where the landing area started, through here, and then all the way back here. Oh, you can dim it, it looks beautiful at night, it really does.
Yeah.
So, and what I did there was, these LED strips, they are called Cove LED strips. So you see how it's a continuous stream and not the dots that you normally have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the entire thing is just one string running on 12 volt. So you could have that light running on an iPhone battery for 4 days straight. So these lamps, you can take them off. So you can take them off and you can use them as a flashlight if you would need to. And also they have like different light settings. You just touch them back there. Here's the TV. And then the mattress I made, according to your videos, out of 2 mattress pads and then sewed them together. We have holes in the bed platform to make sure that the ventilation is going, because I heard about condensation, which, you know, for somebody who never slept outside, wasn't something I would have known without you. And then you can access storage from here. So
that's a lot of storage.
It is a lot of storage. And you know what else? I obsessed over using the space at the wheel wells.
Yes.
So this is where the laundry net is. Look. So you have a laundry net right here so that the space isn't wasted. And this is the extra part of the mattress that you can to extend it. And the ceiling looks, I wanted it to look a little bit like a cabin style. So I wanted the ceiling to have this rustic look of wood, but I didn't want to risk first of all, wood, you know, it expands, it contracts, why? And I also thought, I don't want to make it too heavy. So I went online and I found boat flooring. So this I ordered on Amazon, and it's just a roll of flooring for boats.
Oh, wow.
That looks like wood planks. And then I went over it with 2 layers of liquid rubber. So you hear nothing in here. This used to be a normal van door. And I thought, well, if this is my living room, I'm not gonna sacrifice half a wall. So what I did was so all the windows in the van are still intact, by the way. I put a board here. I took out the entire door, sawed it open, and put these shelves in. So you have some storage here, and it just looks a little bit more like a home. And then this is felt. So if you want, you can just have your different destinations, your cards, your loved ones over here. And then this is for if you want to look outside.
Oh, how nice.
It's completely insulated with the outside. Yeah. And also, since it's a stealth van and you really don't see anything from the outside, it's a good thing. But every now and then you may want to check out what's going on out there. So this just goes right back on there.
Fantastic.
This is actually something that I think is helpful. I struggled when it came to molding.
Yes.
Building houses, I was used to, you know, having edges and everything is sharp, and 90s is nothing square in here. So this is actually foam that you normally use to baby-proof your house. Oh, wow. So these foam, they are cheap, and you normally put them around the corners when you have a baby so that they don't hit their head on the corners, but they are also fantastic for this kind of molding game. And down here, we have the Bluetti and a trash can.
A trash can, yes.
There has to be a trash can.
Right.
And then from here, you could theoretically, if you wanted to, We have a blanket right there, but this is a pretty big hallway into the front. And it's still dark enough. I used interior beige leather that it completely shuts out the light, so nobody would ever know when you're in the front.
Wow, that's
I
great.
kept it very low key. I wanted it to be the kind of van that can be parked anywhere and you wouldn't know. Then we have a fridge, a AC, and a toilet. Toilet is right here. Then there is a bunch of storage here.
Right.
The majority is under the bed, obviously, but honestly, we have a lot of space.
Yes.
All the walls are double glossed, so they can get dirty. You can just wipe them off. It's not a problem at all. So it's very durable. We did not cheap out on the insulation. We went with 2-inch R13 all the way, all around, and doubled up around the windows. So all the windows are blacked out, but they are still, you can dig them back up anytime if you wanted to. I had a lot of trial and error here, and that's exactly what it was supposed to be. I knew I'm going into a project that I know nothing about. So I calculated failure. It's not a problem for me. But yeah, I messed up a lot. I spent like 3 days hanging up wallpaper that then looked terrible just to rip it out again. It made me happy. It still does. So here in the back, I personally, because we live in Vegas, I like the shocks to be low. So right now this is as far as it goes. But they have standardized longer shocks, so you can have this all the way up. And since it is also treated like everything else in the van to be waterproof, you could have this to be an extension with a towel and just have your little pumpy shower in here. For these matters, we have a power outlet back here too.
Very good. Well, do you have any solar? Talking about power.
You know what? Yes, I put one solar panel on the roof just because. So it's ready and to be hooked up if somebody wants to use it. So then when I made the mattress, out of 2 memory foam mattresses and then sewed it together. The very bottom layer is one that has this perforation in it. It's super, super comfortable and it helps with the circulation of air. So I'm not too concerned about the circulation of air because we have our AC down here. So the return air gets sucked in here, so it keeps it moving. And then that's basically it. That's our little happy place.
It's a very happy place.
This was as far as I could have carried it, and I did. And now I'm selling it and I'm gonna build something else. It makes me happy right now. It really does. It makes me happy. It gives me something to do until my body gets better again and I function normally again. But I still have like a lot of good and a lot of bad days. But this is a concept I can handle. I don't need anybody to help me with heavy materials because everything is, in a very small scale compared to houses. This is a challenge too. It's you have to be much more creative than when you rebuild a house. So even though I did full remodels and you have to find your way through those too, something on wheels is a totally different animal.
Because there's nothing square in there.
There's nothing square,
and it's tiny.
And you you end up going to the Home Depot and the 99-cent store, and then to God knows where, to the RV store, and from all of these different places and influences, you somehow figure it out and it comes together. So it was beautiful to just learn something from scratch again and be a little humble about it all.
And so if people are curious, can they write you?
Sure. I have an Instagram. It's Sara Schätzl, SARASCHAETCL. This is not a business for me at the moment. It is something that made me very happy. And if I would break even, then that would be completely fine for me. I would have had months of fun in my garage by myself, learning a lot. If I could have that for free, then that would be awesome.
Well, Sara, thank you so much for showing us your van and the ideas of how you did it. So, folks, I hope you got something really good out of this little tour. Saw some great ideas. I
got to tell you, I met a lot of people in my life that the mainstream people would consider a big deal. But this is a big deal to me. You've been, without knowing it, building this van with me in my garage and got me through some really dark times. So I couldn't be more thrilled to see it come full circle and show you what you did for me.
Very good. That's really great. So folks, if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks again, Sarah.